Sacco and Felice, New York and New Jersey's premier attorneys at law. Their team brings decades of experience across a wide range of practice areas. Whatever life brings, they're your legal team. From everyday matters to complex cases, they've got you covered with the experience you need and the results you want. Because when life gets complicated, they make it simple. SaccoFelice.com. SACCOFILLAS.com. 2 C's, 2 L's.
In the squadron, they called him Bullets, but we call him Greg Kelly. Greg Kelly is on the air on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
All right, we are back, and the astronauts are doing some very, very, very cool things up there. I love it. They're taking all kinds of pictures of our beautiful planet Earth. We haven't seen cool pictures like this in a very long time. You could think, oh, well, wait, we see pictures like this all the time. We got the International Space Station. The International Space Station is about like 120 miles up. The International Space Station at any given time is closer to the most of the Earth than you are, right? I mean, let's see where it is right now. If it's over Los Angeles, it's over something. And in all likelihood is closer to Los Angeles than I am, right? Than we are. It's just, it's cool, but it's not that cool. But now we're leaving the world. It's a 248,000 mile trip to the moon. And when we start getting into deep space, you know what I mean? And that's basically anything more than, I think, a couple of thousand miles. I wonder how far we are right now. I can look it up. I will look it up. But we get these amazing views of the world. And it's something that it's less than once in a lifetime. I guess it's once in a lifetime. What do we consider? The last time we had this vantage point this far away from Earth was 1972. And actually, when I was growing up, I had a beautiful poster of the planet Earth. It was the full Earth, and I just thought it was a very beautiful poster, and I put it up in my room. I actually had it framed, which was a classy thing to do if you're a teenager. You know, when I was a kid, you know, we just grab some Scotch tape and tape anything to the wall. But as you grow older and you enter puberty, I remember seeing a movie once and the kid had like framed pictures, and I thought, wow, that looked very adult. That looked very cool. So I started being very serious about framing. You know, I framed a poster of The Who. I framed a poster of the Earth and some other stuff. And anyway, let's hear from these astronauts. I think this is when they went to bed. All right, let's hear them go to bed.
With that, though, another great day today. Thank you, guys. And we will sign off for the night.
All right.
Hey, thanks to you and the team. And good night.
Good night. See you tomorrow.
They really sound like they're tucking themselves in. And they're going to sleep on that cramped little spaceship. Well, good for them. They deserve the rest. Now, the Israeli Defense Forces are not bombing right now because there's a search for a U.S. F-15 crew member. One pilot rescued, intense search for second crew member after F-15 jet downed in Iran. Now, what does that mean, downed in Iran? You know, does it mean it went down? Does it mean it had a mechanical issue? Did it collide with another airplane? Did it get shot down? I don't know. But having been in an aircraft that went down myself, I know that, you know, this is manageable. And I just want to caution people in cable news who are losing their minds right now about what a disaster and a calamity this is. This is under control. Okay? This is under control. We train for this all the time. It's manageable. I want to go back to outer space, okay? The next stop is the lunar flyby. And what they did was they did something called translunar injection. That means they aim at the moon. The first thing they do is they blast off and they circle our planet. And then they have to aim at the moon again. This is after the launch. The launch does what we've seen a million times. They launch and then they start spinning around the Earth, right? And they do that for a while. And then it's like, okay, it's time to leave Earth's orbit. How do we do that? We turn on the engine and we point it in a very specific way. And boom, we're on our way to the moon. And the process we're about to hear now is that process, okay? Oh, you don't? Okay, hold on. Stand by. Hold the wire. I'm also seeing little pieces of airplane in the Iranian desert. Now, people are mad at me because I said, you know what? This is manageable. Calm down. Let's not act like it's 9/11 and Hurricane Katrina all wrapped up into one. I guess, as a professional former fighting man, I understand that. And I also, it's like they're just as if this hasn't happened before. It's not indicative of whether or not this war will work out or not work out. We'll win, we'll lose. We're winning this war. But to take this one event and turn it into a calamity, no, it's not. I mean, it's serious. I want these guys to be rescued. Yep. Let me see here. U.S. Black Hawk was hit over Iran while conducting rescue ops to find the second pilot. It was able to safely land outside of Iranian territory. Well, how many times have we seen that in the movies? What was that movie with Mickey Rooney? The Bridges at Toko-Ri. I think that was it. Bridges of Toko-Ri or the Bridge over the River Kwai, one or the other. Mickey Rooney is in it, and the rescue helicopter, and the rescue helicopter goes down. This happens. It doesn't mean we ain't going to win this thing. We can win this thing, baby. We can win. We got thousands upon thousands of planes. All right, let me hear the space guys talk about actually lighting the candle to get to the moon. They're already in Earth's orbit. Go ahead.
Integrity. Houston has completed the poll for TLI. When the engine ignites, you embark on humanity's lunar homecoming arc and set the course to return Integrity and her crew safely home. Houston is go for TLI.
Your Integrity crew is go for TLI. With this burn to the moon, we do not leave Earth. We choose it.
Integrity. Good engine, good control.
We show the same. Feels great up here.
At MET, mission elapsed time of 1 day, 1 hour, and 14 minutes into the Artemis II mission. We have the start of the translunar injection burn that will send the crew around the moon, the first humans to do so in over 50 years.
Integrity looks like a good burn. We're confirming.
Integrity comes.
We have just completed the translunar injection burn. Preliminary reports of a good burn. Again, this commits us to flying by the moon and coming back home on flight day 10.
Well, with that successful TLI, the crew's feeling pretty good up here on our way to the moon, and we just wanted to communicate to everyone around the planet who's worked to make Artemis possible that we firmly felt the power of your perseverance during every second of that burn. Humanity has once again shown what we are capable of, and it's your hopes for the future that carry us now on this journey around the moon.
Well, that's very beautiful. Sounds a little bit scripted, right? Where everything's like a poem. Everything's so beautiful. You know what they used to call it? Like, the name of this spaceship is Integrity. You know what they called Apollo 10? They had two, they had the command module, and then they had the lunar module, and they practiced rendezvousing over the moon, right? They'd separate and then they'd rendezvous. One was called Jelly Bean, and the other one was called Gumdrop. And then they had Snoopy and Linus. And then they realized, the whole world is watching. We have to come up with some more elegant names. So then they got a little bit fancy. Columbia, Eagle, and the rest. These guys are people. They're just people, and they're great people. Let's hear how they sleep up there. Can we hear how they sleep? How do they sleep on the moon? I mean, in the spaceship that's going to go around the moon. They talked about that on this little clip as they were chit-chatting with their controllers. You ready? Go ahead.
Well, that's a really interesting question. How is it that you take a nap in there? What does sleeping even look like?
Well, let's see. So we've been off the planet for, about 30 hours now, and we've had 2 very short naps. We actually just gathered for our first meal together in space. That is how busy we have been the last day and a half. It has been really an amazing beginning flight plan. But sleeping here is it's actually sort of comical. Christina has been sleeping heads down in the middle of the vehicle, kind of like a bat suspended from our docking tunnel. Victor's been up where Jeremy is right now. He's got a nice little nook wedged in there. And then Jeremy has been stretched out on seat 1, and I've been sleeping under the displays just in case anything goes wrong. It's more comfortable than you would think, and it's nice. It's nice to sleep in weightlessness again. Every time I was dozing off last night, I had that image that I was tripping off a curb and I was waking myself up. So my body's getting reacclimated. It's been a few years since I've been up here.
I've heard it's the best sleep up in space. As you all know, there is so much division at home right now. What is it that you're feeling? What message do you want to send to the American people about what you're seeing out that window?
Well, the first thing I would say is trust us. You look amazing. You look beautiful. And from up here, you also look like one thing. You know, Homo sapiens is all of us, no matter where you're from or what you look like. We're all one people.
We're all one people. Yeah, a lot of people say that after they come back, right? You know, and they look at Earth like that. That's very cool. What else can we say? They had a little plumbing situation. A plumbing situation. Their toilet was busted. Play that if you don't mind, please. The toilet part.
I heard that there was a little bit of an issue with the toilet. Which one of you was the plumber?
I'll take that one. I'm the space plumber. I'm proud to call myself the space plumber. I like to say that it is probably the most important piece of equipment on board. So we were all breathing a sigh of relief when it turned out to be just fine. It was just an issue, I think, of sitting for a long time and needing a little time to warm up, a priming issue. But we did originally think that there could have been potentially something fouling up the motor. And luckily, we are all systems go.
All right. They're making they're making the woman the plumber. How about that one? All right, let's just take a quick peek at the Iran situation. The word is the F-15 went down. Do we know if it was shot down? No. We know that one pilot has been rescued, according to sources. That's not 1,000% confirmed. A search is underway for the other crewmen. There's also a report that a Black Hawk helicopter was shot down that was engaged in the search for the missing crewman. But the helicopter was able to land outside of Iran. Let's see, what else do we have here? It all happened in the southwest corner of Iran. It's weird. I don't really think of Iran having a southwest corner because it runs like kind of north-south, but yes, it does. At the top of the Persian Gulf, right next to Iraq, that would be the southwest corner. They call it the Khuzestan province. The F-15 Eagle is an amazing strike aircraft, has awesome capabilities. It is one of the older airplanes in our fleet. It first flew in 1972. How about that one? Now, this does happen. This does come as I've been hearing for a pretty substantial amount of time that we have complete dominance over Iran in terms of the skies. We can go anywhere we want. And that could be true. I mean, that is not, believe it or not, this doesn't like nullify that statement. For the most part, we had complete, we had complete security. But as my friend General Holt pointed out, sooner or later they're going to get lucky and they're throwing metal up in the air. We still don't know if they shot this thing down, but I have to say at this point, I'm very skeptical of CENTCOM and will they tell us the accurate information? I feel like they've been playing a game with us. I know that Hegseth and Kane have been playing games with us. I understand you got to have operational security and you can't say everything. And, there's room for spin. I'm okay with spin, but don't lie. All right. Do not deceive me. And you can be deceptive, but you can still be truthful. There's a whole art to this thing. All right. Actually, they call it the art of war. 800-848-9222, 800-848-9222 on this Good Friday. Be right back.
Listen to this podcast now on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Why is the middle class shrinking? Why are people facing an affordability crisis while marginalized individuals called informals grow in numbers? Join me as I travel the world, speaking with people living in invisibility, the leaders working to solve it, and uncovering the hard truths shaping our economy and daily reality.
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform. Greg Kelly on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
All right, now let me see this. Let me see this video I'm watching right now. Video posted to social media, verified by the Times, shows U.S. military aircraft flying over southwest Iran, apparently conducting search and rescue operations after an American fighter jet was downed. What I see is a C-130. It looks like it's refueling two Black Hawk helicopters. Those Black Hawks are Apaches. I can't tell. I don't know if Apaches can refuel in flight. I think it's anyway, that's very low. And let's see what else we got here. All right. One American rescued from fighter jet downed over Iran, U.S. officials say. Exeth says U.S. troops are fighting for Jesus. The Pope disagrees. Okay, well, that's just the New York Times speaking. Boy, oh boy. This New York Times stinks. Totally hate the guy. Cut him some slack. All right? Cut Trump some slack. And also, we're doing okay here. You know, partly this is a very unique perspective I have. It is interesting for me to be here knowing what I know and not perturbed that they just shut down an aircraft. I don't like it, but I recognize it as almost an inevitability of a massive air campaign that has lasted over a month. We've been lucky they haven't shot down anything earlier or more. It's just not the most foreign concept to me. I was in the military for 9 years active duty. I remember when they shot down planes. Oh, look at this guy. He's back. Look at this guy, Rodney Rooney, whatever his name, on Fox News, with the medallions and the leather coat. It's a little bit ridiculous, and all that flying paraphernalia all over the place. Lieutenant Colonel Don Rooney. Hey, remember Top Gun? Do you guys remember Top Gun? What do you mean? You didn't see Top Gun? Did you see the Top Gun 1? You see Top Gun Maverick? Top Gun 2? Carlos, do you want to be an American or not? Maybe you'd be more comfortable in Greece. Now, I don't want to say that. I mean, come on, man. You got to there's certain requirements when you're in America. You got to see Top Gun. You got to gain 15 pounds. You're way too skinny to be an American right now. All right? I want you to adopt some of our ways, our culture. Anyway, because in Top Gun Part 2, it's a very successful mission. Not to give it away, but it came out 4 years ago now. Tom Cruise bombs the, special little target there. And guess what happens then? He gets shot down. And so does Goose in the other plane. Right? During that successful mission. And Top Gun, they got shot down by Iran, clearly fighting Iran. Everybody needs to chill the hell out. This happens. 9/11, Katrina, Pearl Harbor, all wrapped up into one because they shot down one plane. This is what I've always been concerned about. It gets me back to the idea of our ships and why I don't want to go through the Strait of Hormuz. Because if they get one battleship of ours, now that would be bad. But it would be geopolitically bad. It would be optically bad. And it would be bad for our fighting men and women. Strategically, though, however, losing one ship after we take out 150 of theirs, right? But somehow that will go down as a loss for us. I don't want that to happen. That's why I'm all about not going into the Strait of Hormuz with American warships, all right? The planes can take care of this. And yes, one got shot down. Thankfully, one has already been rescued. Hopefully they get the other one.
Greg Kelly, entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Hey, we are back, and one little oddball thing that I'm concerned about, General McCasland. Had anybody heard about this guy? He's a 2-star retired general, and the thing is, he's said to have been one of the top UFO experts in our military, in the Pentagon. UFO, unidentified flying objects, which are kind of all hot all over again. I do not believe that these objects are extraterrestrial. I do not believe that. As my good friend Buzz Aldrin told me, there may be extraterrestrial life, but we will never find out. And I asked him why. He said it's too far away. And he explained to me that if you went on the fastest rocket we ever had and times it by 1,000, right? 1,000 times faster than whatever rocket. So 25,000 miles per hour is about as fast as we can go. Or actually, no, about 30,000 miles per hour. Times that by 1,000. What is that, 3 million? If we went 3 million miles an hour, you know how long it would take us to get to the nearest star that has a planet orbiting? 300 years. That's a little bit crazy, okay? So we're never going to find out. Now you could say, well, they're going to come here. I don't think they're going to come here. I don't think they have come here. And I don't think they exist. Now you could say, well, that universe is so big. I mean, why would we be the only ones? Well, I think God made the universe big for us. And anybody who looks at that universe and feels small and feels insignificant and, oh, wow, all this big universe and it goes on forever and I'm just little old me. Did I ever tell you about this before? I did a little arithmetic, all right? I broke out a calculator and my paper and my graph paper, and I worked on it for many, many, many months, and I did the calculation. So I wanted to do this. First, I had to Google how many people have ever lived on the planet Earth in the history of the Earth, from like the first caveman to a baby that was born 2 seconds ago. And the answer is approximately 800 billion. All right. So then I did the math. Okay. If I wanted to spread, I'm going to stop with the gimmick. I didn't use math. I was just kidding. All right. I did not. I asked ChatGPT, but I told ChatGPT, let's pretend I had 800 billion people alive right now on the planet. The planet was too crowded and I wanted to spread them out evenly across the universe. Right. I wanted each individual, each baby, each president of the United States, that woman walking outside with the hot pants on, bell bottoms, everybody to have equal amount of space in the universe. How much space would they have? Like how many people would have to, share a star, that kind of thing. How many people would be left on Earth if we wanted to spread them all out evenly? And you know what the answer was, right? Each person who ever lived would have to their own domain. How big would it be? They would have somewhere between 1 and 2 trillion galaxies to themselves. 1 to 2 trillion galaxies to themselves. Everybody who ever lived. How about that one, Carlos? Can you imagine being the master of 1 trillion galaxies? And whatever you say goes? That's how much God loves us. That's how special we are. That is how special. We're the only ones. And I think that's awesome. 800-8489-222, 800-8489-222. We have a downed F-15, but I think it's my job to point out to people that I don't want anyone panicking and I don't want anyone doubting the war effort. That's what the enemy wants. I just have to say, every war we've ever fought, we lose a plane or two, sometimes dozens. Who's this? Ann in Connecticut. Hello.
Greg.
Hi.
I just wanted to say, why can't we take all the money we waste on NATO and put it into our inner cities to build wonderful schools and hire wonderful teachers and build some great housing to repair our country instead of wasting it on these European countries that obviously don't care at all about us?
Yeah, I know. It's a simple idea, and you know what? It kind of makes sense. The old Greg Kelly would be like, "Oh, well, we could never do that because of this, that, and the other thing." And no, you're right. It's a really straightforward thing. Although, then again, I don't know if money is going to fix the schools. You know what I mean? I just don't know if it's that simple. Fix the inner city schools. Money, is that going to fix it? How about kids who pay attention in class and don't bother their teachers so much? How about well-behaved kids? So much of this is put on the teachers and the principals and the faculty, and they're good people. But, what about the damn kids? Colleges, high school and school and middle school is really, in a weird way, pretty simple. Don't be disruptive in class. Pay attention. do your homework, and you can do very, very well in school. You'd be surprised how those things are like very hard to find. And if we could make that, and I don't know if money is the answer to fixing that. You know what I mean, Ann? I don't know if the money is. And as far as NATO goes, I'm with President Trump. It's getting to be very, very, okay, what the hell do we need this thing for anyway right now? If they're always, it's like the UN. They're always sticking it to America, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Well, the UN shouldn't be there either, of course. But no, but I mean a different outlook, a whole different perspective on children, and a whole different perspective on teachers and kids.
Well, what is that perspective you're looking for? I mean, nothing is like that easy. I mean, what do you, all right, forget Iran, forget NATO, forget the UN. What kind of perspective are you looking for?
I'm looking for a perspective that will respect children, and they will hold them to a certain degree, and they will, everything has to change for these kids in the inner cities. It's just, something's wrong.
Well,
we have to take care of our country first.
You're in Connecticut, all right? What do you know about the inner city? I mean, you're speaking, I know we got problems, but what do you mean? Like, what are you getting at? I mean, it's very easy to just say, yeah, we got to, I mean, you're making a lot of assumptions too. I don't know. You can't wave a magic wand and make all this stuff happen. We have schools, right? We have teachers, right? We have books, right? We even have computers in those schools, right? And let's face it, we have a lot of kids who don't act particularly well. Kids are crazy. They're rambunctious. They don't like to follow rules. You know, I mean, it's a bit of a drudgery. What is the big chief problem you see it as America right now? Like, what will happen if we straighten out all these schools? Well, you know, we got problems, but I don't think it's that bad here.
You don't?
No, I don't, Ann. I don't, actually. I mean, everybody I know, no. Everybody is negative as hell. All right? Just look at your life right now. We can do things that they could not do 100 years ago. 100 years ago, if you told people what our lives would be like, wow. You know what I mean? Wow. The quality of life you have, I have, that people who are, quite frankly, you know, you ever go, you talk about the inner city. When's the last time you've been in the inner city? Be honest.
What about the little kids that are getting shot? There's
I understand.
Something we have to do in our country that's not a gross tornado.
Well, you know, I mean, this is about behavior, all right? This is about choices. This is about life choices. And I don't have all the answers. I do know this. Okay, you're right. Good point. How do we stop that? How do we stop young kids of color from being killed? And I came up with an idea last night that I thought was pretty good, and it wouldn't take all the money that we give to NATO. You ever hear of the National Rifle Association? Of course you have.
I have a great idea, too. Do you want to hear it?
I'm right in the middle of my idea. How dare you, Ann? How dare... I'm only kidding. So here's what we would do. You get the NRA, the National Rifle Association, to go into the hood and start teaching people marksmanship. All right? Even the bad guys, even the gangbangers. I'm sure those guys didn't want to shoot that 7-month-old baby, but they never learned a proper way to aim and handle a weapon. The National Rifle Association is all about weapon safety. I'm serious. Instead of demonizing them, let's harness them and use them and deploy them. Show these gangbangers how to aim. And don't miss. And certainly don't fire from a moped. All right. What's your idea? And then I got to go.
Greg.
Yes.
Greg.
Yeah.
Did I give you my idea?
I told you already. Yes.
Okay. I have an idea. Okay, so this is my idea.
Oh.
Take one city. Take Chicago. Take Detroit. Take any city you think. And all these millionaires, billionaires, take one city and make it a model city.
All right. No, you're being naive. You're sounding like you're being naive. All right. You're being, all these billionaires are, you know, it just doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. What if you live in Chicago? What if you don't want some billionaire coming in and telling you what to do? You know, it's not, no. That sounds like a cartoon to me. But, Ann, you sound amazing, and I appreciate it. We'll do one more. It's Russ. I actually believe his suspension is up. Russ's suspension is up. Thank you for honoring the suspension after that brief interlude. What is it?
Greg, I'm not suspended. You told me I had to wait 28 days between calls. You didn't suspend me. I'm just following the rules of the road that you laid out.
I thought there was a punitive suspension involved. But anyway, what is it?
Because I said that the person who shot Officer Diller was not guilty of murder, and you said don't call for 6 months, and it turns out the jury agreed with me, Greg. But I'd like to ask you about, Marco Rubio being an
No, you were very disrespectful. It was something you said that was disrespectful. And, oh, by the way, that verdict was an outrage. All right? And you were advocating for that verdict. You were advocating for it. Now I remember. And we don't like what happened in that courtroom. And you were giving the criminal, literally, the benefit of the doubt. As you do. You like to tweak. You like to, right? I don't know why you're so angry at this amazing country and our law enforcement and the rest. Because then now I remember. And the jury agreed with you. No, the jury didn't agree with you. One maniac on that jury agreed with you and ruined it. You can go. Why don't you go call the family of Officer Diller and brag that you were right all along? Tell all the cops that went to the funeral. Tell all the cops that were in that courtroom. Russ, I'm tempted to reimpose the 28-day ban, but I'm a nice guy and I got class and I won't do that. So what is it? What did you call me about today?
About Marco Rubio being an anchor baby, but you talk about so many interesting things.
Marco Rubio, oh gosh, that fake conspiracy theory about Marco Rubio. What do you know about Marco Rubio? Come on, go ahead, honey. Tell me what you know about Marco Rubio.
Honey?
Go ahead, sweet tits. You tell me that.
His parents came from Cuba before the 1965 Immigration Act, and they could not get here as citizens, so they gave birth to him. So he wants to be a birthright
You
citizen.
are wrong. You're citing the wrong thing. They came here in 1956. What happened in 1959? Fidel Castro and the communists took over. That rendered them political refugees, and they were granted asylum, and they became United States citizens. They were here legally, fruitcake. Absolutely, positively, legally. There were no anchor baby. They came here legally. They stayed here legally. And they're still here legally. Anchor baby, my ass. You don't think I've heard this rumor in my travels? You don't think I debunked that the moment I heard it? Russ. All right. Well, listen, I gotta go. All right. Best to the wife. I know she's a nice person. Ernesto, what is it? Ernesto, line 4.
What?
Yeah, you. Hi.
Yeah, how you doing? We should get out of NATO, lean heavily into South America, Latin America, punish NATO countries that did not help out. For example, force England to give back the Malvinas to Argentina, have Spain give back all the gold that they plundered from Latin America with interest.
No, I don't think we should be doing that. I don't think we should be doing that. You mean the Malvinas? You mean the Falkland Islands, right?
La Malvinas. I'm Argentinian.
I understand that. So you remember that war. You know, your crazy dictator down there took those islands over. I remember well, 1982. And what did Britain do? They came down and they kicked some Argentinian ass. You never should have done that. And now you want them back. I don't think it works that way. Why do you want those stupid islands anyway? All they have is sheep. Right?
Because they're ours. What do you want, Hawaii?
Well, there's more than sheep in Hawaii. There's more than sheep. And we didn't annex Hawaii, by the way. You know, we didn't take it over or whatever. Anyway, I've never been to Argentina. What's it like down there? And the Falkland Island War did fascinate me at the time. It really did. What's Argentina like?
It's nice. It's beautiful. Just like here.
Just like here?
You know, it wasn't administered. You know, they screwed it up, of course, corrupt governments. But now Milei is there, and he's a big friend of Trump.
Oh, yeah.
Israel.
Yeah. I like that. All right, pal. I appreciate it very much. Interesting idea. I don't think any of that stuff's going to happen. I'll do one more. Raymond is standing. Oh, wait. No, stop that. Nick. Raymond, you hang on. Nick, hi.
Hey, Greg. Hey, just make this one quick. When you were talking about the F-15 today, there's a nice example of it up at the United States Air Force Museum here in Ohio, not too far from where I live.
The Wright-Patterson Air Force Base?
That is correct. Yes,
I've
sir.
been there. It's an amazing facility. Amazing.
I think it's the closest thing to the National or the Smithsonian. So, for anybody that's looking to take a side trip out our way on vacation, don't miss it. It's very, very good. And it's free.
Dayton, Ohio, right?
That is correct.
Yeah. I spoke there a million years ago. It was really fun. It was really an interesting place. I had a great time. Hey, man, thank you for reminding me about that great place, the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in the museum there. Thanks, pal. We'll do one more. Raymond, he also has an interest in the Air Force. Yes, sir.
How are you today, sir?
Good.
Good. You were in the Air Force. Am I correct in saying that?
No, I was in the Marine Corps.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was in the Air Force.
That's all right.
Okay, I definitely agree with your NRA aspect on training inner city kids, you know?
Interesting idea, right? And it wouldn't cost that much money.
You could put them all in the stadium and hand them weapons, and they could take marksman practice on each other.
Oh, don't put it that way. Don't say it that way. Are you crazy? Can't do that. No, not in a state. No, in a holistic environment, like in a school gym. And you never point a gun at anybody. You never point a gun at anything you don't want to shoot, right? And we don't want them shooting people. All right, Raymond, I got to go. I appreciate it. I'll be right back.
Greg Kelly, entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
All right, we are back, and lots of people making fools out of themselves on the social media. But you know what? It's all a little bit of fun, right? You can have a little bit of fun. You can let it loose. It's okay. It's freedom of speech. And I don't like Pam. One other thing that Pam Bondi did that she shouldn't have done, boasting about her great big private sector job that she obviously negotiated while she was the sitting Attorney General of the United States. You're not supposed to do that. I am in awe of our ability to go back to the moon. Well, not really, actually. I'm glad we're doing it. Our ability to do it. Do you ever look at that, that rocket, that Artemis 2 rocket? You notice anything about it? It's kind of like random parts, you know what I mean? Like kind of scrapped together. Something kind of makeshift about the thing. And they didn't paint the main fuel tank. It's all rusty. They used to paint that thing, and then they stopped doing it. I compared the capsules, again, the space capsules, putting them side by side. It's amazing. It's amazing. The space capsule from 1968 to 72 is the same capsule they're using this time. I mean, I know they got better switches and stuff like that and better, but it's going the same speed. I don't know. I feel like we should have, we've been asleep. We've been asleep as a country for way too long. All right, it is Good Friday. I am going to leave, and Easter is Sunday. And with that, in honor of that, I will take two more phone calls because they've been waiting patiently. Steve, hello, how are you?
Hey, Greg. Greg, real quick, you're caught up on the space exploration thing. All well and good. I'm 6 years older than you, by the way. Old enough to remember all the Apollo missions and the space shuttle.
And?
Space exploration has always been about one thing, Greg, national security. That's it. There's nothing we found on the moon or anything that benefits us here on Earth other than that we can hit our enemies, and it scares the hell out of them. Go ahead. If you want, I know you make a big thing out of it.
What's the point? Wait. I mean, what's your point? I mean, I understand there was a national security component, the space race and all that stuff. So what are you saying now? We shouldn't be going or we should be going? What are you getting at?
We should be going, and I completely agree with Trump setting up the Space Force. But at this point, and it's always been about national security. You seem to get annoyed that we haven't been going back and back and back. It's a lot of money and time, but we need it for one thing only.
No, I think there are other benefits to going out there, but thanks. Brett, I'm so sorry, man. You've been on hold for a million years, the same as Rachel and whatever, and the rest. Sorry about that, everybody, but I got to get the hell out of here. Dominic is next. Have a great Easter, to be continued.
Thanks for listening to The Greg Kelly Show. You can hear The Greg Kelly Show weekdays at 12:15 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social, on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode, so you never have to wonder, what the heck is going on here?
This is Greg Kelly. Donate now to Toys for Tots, which works year-round. Go to toysfortots.org. Toys for Tots supports children in need throughout the year with programs like the Toys for Tots Literacy Program. Established in 2008, it has provided over 63 million books to disadvantaged children. The Toys for Tots Literacy Program is committed to providing disadvantaged children with direct access to books and educational resources that enhance their ability to read and communicate effectively. Go to toysfortots.org.